right. I think we are actually live right now here at Kansas City Ballet with our Dance Speaks program, doing really great in terms of our season. We're looking forward to producing it. My name is Devon, Carney, Artistic Director for Kansas City Ballet. And the first thing of our season that we're going to be doing is this really exciting adventure that we get a chance to be a part of every year for the last 8 years, which is Johnson County Community College's New Dance Partners. And tonight we have the really awesome privilege to have a really incredible choreographer who has joined us, as well as an internationally renowned artistic director, both in the same room. So I'm really excited to have both Michael Uthoff here tonight, as well as Irene Rodriguez. And before we get going, I just wanted to say a little bit about each of these wonderful guests who have given up some of their time tonight to join us. We'll start with Mr. Uthoff, who is an internationally renowned choreographer, producer, teacher, director, who's been a dancer with both Jose Limon's company as well as Joffrey Ballet. And he was also artistic director previously for both Ballet Arizona and before that, Hartford Ballet. He is also currently the artistic director for our Johnson County Community College New Dance Partners. Thank you, Michael, so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
And also the choreographer of this year's New Dance Partners for Kansas City Ballet is the pretty much becoming world-renowned Irene Rodriguez. Irene is, and Irene, get ready for this. We wanted some background dance, okay? So this is Irene Rodriguez right now dancing on the beach. She's an international sensation. Recently, she has begun to make her incredible mark in the American dance scene. She studied at the National Ballet School of Cuba, taught at the National Spanish Dance Academy, has been rehearsal director and choreographer for National Ballet School of Cuba, and also rehearsal instructor for Cuba National Ballet. She has appeared quite in a lot of different places, some of which are the Joyce Theater in New York City. These are with her company, Irene Rodriguez Compañía. She's appeared at the Joyce Theater in New York City, in Seattle, in California, in Colombia, South America. She's also appeared at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., and several times at the Jacob's Pillow Dance Festival, which is the oldest ongoing dance festival in this country. I think it's closing in on its 85th season, something like that. It's incredible. She has a master's degree in theoretical studies of dance at the National Arts University of Havana, Cuba, and numerous, and that is an understatement, numerous accolades and awards. You can get a full listing of all of her incredible accomplishments if you go to irenerodriguezcompañia.com. Bravo.
Ole.
The best introduction in the world.
Wow. So 2 incredible guests, right? And this has been a really exciting adventure to get to this point where we are a little over a week from when Irene's work appears on the Johnson County Community College. So much to talk about. And we have several little quick video clips of the work that Irene is in the process of creating, almost completely done, incredibly quick choreographer. The work that she's creating is called Amor Brujo, and it is her first American choreographic project with a professional ballet company. So we're very excited to be the ones to present her first work. Michael and I had spoken about Irene probably a year, well, we have to add COVID in, don't we?
Yeah.
2 years ago. I keep forgetting about that one. Michael was so super excited when I shared with him about Irene's incredible history as a performer and her powerhouse presence in every respect. So I was thrilled when Michael was happy about the idea of bringing Irene to be our choreographer for new moves, for new dance partners. I think I'd like to just start a little bit by talking about new dance partners for starters, which is the groundwork of how Irene is here with us in Kansas City. Maybe Michael, you could share a little bit about this amazing adventure that has happened here in Kansas City with new dance partners since its inception.
Well, it was a project that we initiated here in St. Louis, and it had about a 4-year lifespan. But thanks to Emily Berman's vision and direction at the JCC, it has become something of a staple in the Kansas City area. And the idea behind it is quite simple, and I'm not sure why other people don't do it, and other producers don't do it around the country or around the world. Because having been an artistic director and knowing very much what your chores are and your anxieties are, one of the most difficult things, and one of the ones that has the most difficulty convincing the board about, is the issue of repertory, of what you want to do, how you want to do it, why you want to take this risk, and why you should take the risk. Well, with this whole project of New Dance Partner, we try and in some way help you eliminate that awkward position with your board by us being the producer and telling you, well, not telling you because we actually talk to you and we decide what we want to do in summer, but allowing you through the New Dance Partner to venture into something that maybe if you went directly to the board, they might say, no way, we can't afford it or whatever. But because it's presented through us and the Johnson County Community College takes over some of the responsibility and the risk factor, it becomes accessible. And it's been an incredible labor of love for everybody involved. And we were very fortunate not only having you with the Kansas City Ballet, but also the Owen Cox Dance Group and Williams Henry and Sterling being 4 of the semi-professional and professional dance companies in Kansas City, working for the past 8 years. And in the process, we've created over 32 works. And one of the most beautiful things and why I was so excited when you and I spoke 2 years ago was because when you brought Irene to my attention, I was surprised that you were going to go in that direction. And I was excited that you were going to go in that direction because it's easy to get, a lot of other people that maybe work within the genre that one associates Kansas City Ballet with. This was going to be a challenge to your dancers, a challenge to you, a challenge to the company, and something that both Emily and I were thrilled that we could do it. And needless to say, in the 2 years of preparation, I've gotten to know Irene quite well, and I'm excited that the results are coming up the way we expected it.
Fantastic, Michael. And I want to say that, it's been such an exciting adventure every year. The group of choreographers that are brought together under your leadership for Johnson County Community College New Dance Partners is exceptional. And it's great for our community because we all get to know new forms of dance every year. And we get to have that synergistic moment of all these different companies in our city coming together under one roof and performing. So we get to know each other. So there's a community sort of experience that occurs through this process as well, which I'm really quite grateful for. So maybe we could talk a little bit about the work. What do you think, Irene? Would you like to talk about the work?
Sure.
The work is called Amor Brujo. And Irene, please jump in if I make a mistake, because you know this inside and out. It's a 106-year-old composition by Manuel de Falla.
Manuel de Falla, yes.
I said it right. And it has had numerous attempts at it being choreographed over the years, but this is a very exciting project that Irene has brought to my attention, which I'm really thrilled about. It's an incredible libretto that I'm sure that you'll share a little bit more about. Irene has chosen every aspect of this production, musically, libretto, choreographically, very much worked hand in hand with our incredible costume designer, Susan Romer, on this production. We have very full costumes for this work. It's probably the largest costumed event ever for new dance partners. And I just, it's an amazing story, which maybe we could start with a little sort of in a nutshell, what the story is.
Well, I will start from the beginning. The beginning is when you, Mr. Devon, introduced me to Michael Uthoff, and you both contact me asking me to create a choreography for the Kansas City Ballet. For me, it was an amazing opportunity because, as you said before, this is the first time I'm going to create for a complete company, ballet company in the United States. So for me, it's an amazing experience. I have done it before with the Cuban National Ballet, but now with a foreign company. So thank you, publicly for this amazing opportunity, for your trust. But immediately you contact me, I thought about creating Amor Brujo because Amor Brujo is my favorite story, and I have always wanted to be my own version about this ballet that I danced when I was really young, in my 20s, at the beginning of my 20s, and I have always been in love, and I'm the biggest fan of Manuel de Fallas. So in this occasion, I said, okay, it can be another ballet than Amor Brujo. Amor Brujo, the literal translation to the English language, is Love Bewitched. And the music is remarkable. The music is amazing. You can be in love. Even the ballet dancers, they come to the rehearsals and they are still, they are singing the songs, even if they are in Spanish, because the music is very contagious. It's beautiful. And it's considered one of the most innovative music for the 20th century, Spanish music of the 20th century. And of course, it's the most renowned about Manuel de Fallas' composition. So doing the music selection of the ballet was very hard because I need to take 2 pieces out. It really hurt to me, but it has to be a 25-minute ballet. But I think now will be like a 27, 28, because I create a music with only percussion, with the percussion box. That is the moment that the 2 men are fighting for Candela's love. Okay, and now we'll explain what is the work about, because it has a very gypsy story. This libretto was considered it was made by Gregorio Martinez Sierra. You can find in many documents in internet that the libretto of Amor Brujo was done by Gregorio Martinez Sierra. But in fact, it was written by his wife, named Maria de la O Lejárraga. So for me, putting her in the first, credits of the libretto is very important because it gives her the credit she has. And it's about Candela and Carmelo has been in love when they were kids, but their father of Candela and another gypsy kid named Jose agree, and he said, a marriage, an arrangement marriage, that when they became adults, they will get married. So Candela and Jose. So that day arrived, and during the wedding, Jose, like he's not in love of Candela, he is cheating her with another gypsy lady named Lucia. So Candela, realized that in the same wedding party. So it's a real drama, and she suffers a lot. And Lucia's husband wants to revenge, and they have a fight. And of course, Jose is dead. After that, fate, destiny, give Candela and Carmelo the opportunity to meet again and enjoy their love. And the triumph of love is the name of the last scene that they start dating and come together and enjoy their love forever. So it's a good final, it's a happy end, but it's a very dramatic story when the principal female character, so Candela, she will need to get all her dramatic skills into the ballet, because at the beginning she's a happy bride. Later she gets crazy with all the specters of Jose, bullying her and disturbing her. And after that, she will do black magic to return Jose to life and push his specter out and send him to the other world, because if not, he will always disturb her forever. So it has many, many nuances, the choreography, and she will need to get many dramatic skills to create and dance this ballet. So for the principal dancer of your ballet, in this case, Amaya, she's doing great. And in fact, all the dancers, I'm very surprised, and I'm more than excited about the results I'm seeing already in the studio. So I can't wait for the stage. But what I can tell you is in these 27, 28 minutes, is a very dramatic and powerful choreography and story. They are pushing them out of their very straight classic ballet, character and interpretation, and they are so passionate. They are doing music. Another detail, very, very important. As soon as you want to dance a flamenco rhythm and a flamenco choreography, even if you are using your ballet steps, you need to learn the music, the flamenco rhythm. So they are dancing many times. Bulerías rhythm is a particular flamenco rhythm. And they, even being ballet dancers, they have learned perfectly the counting, the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And they are even doing palmas, so claps, and footwork, and even with canes, they are doing music with Bulerías rhythm. That is a big challenge for them. So, and they are doing great. So I arrived to the studio and I arrived to every rehearsal, so expecting, and they are doing great. They are demanding for more. They are already acting, even if they are dancing with Max. I can see their eyes, the passion. So I'm very excited. I'm dreaming with this ballet every single minute.
Well, thank you. That's very thorough. I appreciate that. It is definitely, as Michael said, and I appreciate Michael's willing to take the risk along with us on this. It isn't your usual kind of ballet, but what's exciting is the artistic growth that's occurring, like you said, Irene, with our dancers. They are expanding to new horizons, and I think that's one of the exciting things about New Dance Partners. Is it's an opportunity to get kind of outside the box, and really think a little bit differently about what you're capable of doing, or your company is capable of doing. One thing, we're gonna go to on our video list. I have a few sections of videos that we're gonna show while we're talking about things. There's, as you mentioned, there's Palmas, and we're gonna look at section 3. Our tech person's going to get that all set and ready to go. But one of the things that's really interesting is the women having to work with capes, with shawls. This is a challenge for women. They don't normally do this. Of course, that's Irene. Watch, everybody. 1, 2, bam, bam, bam. 1, 2, bam, bam, bam. Yes, very good, very good. So that's not. This is probably the very first time any of them have ever wielded and tossed a shawl with fringe that, I would say is what, Irene, about that long. It's a good 2.5 feet long fringe. Men do this all the time with, if you have a chance to do Don Quixote, you have the matadores, which they use the bullfighting capes. And in our production of Nutcracker, in honor of that, I have 2 men doing cape work as well. But women very, very rarely get a chance to do something like this. So it's really kind of cool to see them go at it. And now, right next, section 4 is going to show us a little bit. It's about a 40-second clip here of the women with El Destino. And that's Liang Fu with the big going around his waist, otherwise known as Fate. And this is a very famous piece of music within the work. As you can see, we are doing this work on point, which is great. Keep that alive. So you can see I mean, they're still in rehearsal process, learning how to do the cape over the head. But I love it that Irene, that you've chosen to do that. Did you find any particular challenges? Did the ladies just take to it, or was it a little bit problematic?
I add the shawls, los mantones in Spanish, because it's a very Spanish element. And like in this scene particularly, they are flames. The name of this scene is Fire's Dance. It means candela, that in fact, candela means in Spanish, fire by itself, the name itself. So she's doing brujeria, so black magic with the fire. So asking, before this scene, there is 12 bells sounding. It means it's midnight. It's the time that you can do black magic, supposedly. So at noon, at midnight, she asks the fire specter and ghost to come to ask the specters of Jose returns to life and push him out and send him to the other world. So in this moment, the girls, the corpse, are flames. So this, Charles, reminds me that, the point of the flames. So they will be in red and yellow, exactly like the flames are. So it was very difficult because at the first rehearsal, it wasn't about choreography, it was about teaching them how to dance with that, how to send and grab. It's very difficult. And if you who knows about ballet, you will realize they are doing this, but at the same time, they are in point shoes, and you will see they will do big jumps, name it saut de chasse, and they will turn, and they will chasse and turns and run, everything with the shawls, like the Spanish dancers we do, but it's a big challenge for them because they have never done this with a professional shawl and on point shoes. So it's like two challenges at the same time.
And, just in a broader sense of the work that you're doing, this is an interesting combination of generally speaking, a classical ballet company that does a lot of contemporary work as well, but to bring this form of dance, because, your background is Spanish dance in Cuba. And, that was my thought, was how are we going to make this onto a ballet company? And what's really exciting is, like I was saying, while the women were dancing, I asked Irene, what are they going to wear on their feet? Are we going to wear, low, high heels, like classical, like what we saw Irene dancing at the beginning with those kind of high heels dance shoes? But she's like, no, we're doing point work, which was really exciting that she's ready to go for that. And it's just this whole intensity of this work that is just incredible. And it's not a surprise. It's coming from a very intense performer, that is Irene. What you saw in the beginning of her dancing on the beach, that's very much a COVID video because we couldn't dance with each other for quite a while. So she kept herself quite creative by doing these wonderful videos. But the ability to see the chance, if you ever have it, to see Irene Rodriguez perform live it's pretty much a once in a lifetime experience. It will capture you. It will draw you in. You will not forget the moment you saw Irene Rodriguez perform, which is the case for me when I went to Havana, Cuba to see the 25th anniversary festival of dance held there in Havana, Cuba. And to see Irene Rodriguez perform was probably something I will never forget. And from that moment on, I wanted to somehow find a way to connect her with us. And thank you to Michael for the opportunity to be able to bring her here through New Dance Partners. It has just been it's a life changer, and I'm really grateful for both of you, frankly. Michael, you know, I was curious, what was your thought? Okay, so this is, by the way, the viewing audience and Irene, this is Michael's first opportunity to see anything of what Irene has created. We were on the phone about a week ago, and he asked me how it was, and it's hard to describe. It's just exciting and intense. And wait till you see some of the other video clips, Michael. But how are you feeling about this year's New Dance Partners? I mean, you know, you're the one who knows the most about all four of these companies and how this is all kind of coming together. And soon you will see all of the productions in about a week, less than a week. You'll see all of us here in Kansas City. How are things going from your end?
From what I understand, each of the productions is very different. We have a New York choreographer. We have a young African-American woman, Sandra Bell, that's becoming a very well-known artist. And we have Ronnie Koresh that comes out of Israel with all his dynamics and all his power and things like, and his passion. And then we have Irene. And Irene is producing exactly and more than what I thought would happen. As she said, she's 27 minutes away, 28 minutes out of a 25-minute piece. But so the 3 more minutes of great dancing that we get, that's great. I have no problem if it's good. And what we're seeing right now, it's very exciting. And it proves our point. It proves exactly what you and I thought could happen when we sat down for coffee at that place. And we sort of were racking our brains with where do we go from here? We did Annabelle. That was very beautiful, and it was within the context of what you guys do. How can we push the envelope a little bit? Right. And when you suggested her name, I said, "Oh yeah, let's go." I didn't know her. I found out more about it, and of course, in the process of the 2 years, I've discovered this incredibly dynamic woman, which obviously is doing that, passing all of that to your dancers. So I'm very excited about what's going to happen next weekend.
Great. I can't wait to see it all come together, both for Irene's work here with Kansas City Ballet, but the overall production of what you brought together, Michael.
Very well. Each thing will lead very well from one to the next.
So taking off on your comment about power of Irene's work, I thought we'd see a little bit of some other things. She is quite the exceptional choreographer and very much can manage a room full of men. And there is some really intense male dancing. So we're going to look at section 2 and see a little bit of the fight sequence with all the men. So this is, we're going to see this twice right now, and then we'll see a little bit later. But this is last week of rehearsal. The fight sequence between Jose and Mello. You can tell how Irene really controls the room.
That was them, definitely.
Great. All right. So now you're going to see a very difficult lift sequence that she choreographed. This took a lot of practice right here.
And this is my favorite moment.
Good. Thank you. That's good. You like that one, Irene?
Well, you know, you were talking about, like, I am graduated in classic ballet and of course in the four styles of the Spanish dances, because I would love to talk a little about this, because when you say I'm a Spanish dancer, people only think about the flamenco dancer. So about what you saw in the video, only the footwork that is amazing, of course, and the turns of the heads and the clappings and maybe a fan. But Spanish dance world is so wide. We have 4 styles inside our Spanish dance world. Each of them very different from each other. One of them is the Bolero school that grew up together with the classic ballet style. The other one is the folk style, or the Spanish folklore, that are many like thousands of dances that are danced in each town of Spain. So there is thousands of them. The flamenco style, that is another folk style from the south of Andalusia, but it's so powerful by itself that it became a style. And the stylization of the other 3 ones. So it means that what we are doing and we are using to create this ballet is an stylization of all these other 3.
Wow.
So that is why they are doing clappings. It belongs to the flamenco world. They are doing simple footworks and percussion moment with the canes, but at the same time, they are doing ballet steps. This is not a foreign language for me. In fact, because I'm graduating classic ballet, I have worked with the Cuban National Ballet Company and with the Cuban National Ballet School for many years. And it doesn't matter what style you are using if the story and the character and the influence is still Spanish. Even only about how you set the body, you don't need to dance. If I only do like this, you understand I'm a flamenco dancer. It's all about how you set the body, you turn the chin and the head. It's about the character, and that is enough. Even I was talking with Mr. Devon today that not only about this choreography that is very powerful and beautiful for me, of course, but for the work of the company later about doing Don Q or the Spanish dances in Swan Lake, Nutcracker, whatever, they will take all this knowledge, everything they have learned on the inclines and the character and the elbows, and of course their dancers, their interpretation of the Spanish choreographies inside the classic ballet world will be much better, I'm pretty sure. And they will remember me, and I will be here with you in that moment. So I really appreciate, and talking like a dancer, you know, from a dancer perspective, if I was a ballet dancer here and belong to the Kansas City Ballet, that I would love to, I really appreciate Michael and Devon opportunity to bring not only me, if not all these amazing choreographers you're bringing, because the spectrum of the dancers working with different choreographers, different tendons, different characters, all of us, we are different. I'm so fast creating. I demand so much that they finish the rehearsal exhausted. There is another kind of choreographers, they are more relaxed, more soft. My way to choreography is I see the movement, I see the drama, and after that, I set the steps. And they love it because they know the formation and they know what they are talking about through the steps. It's not about one step after another step and 2, 4, 5, 6 repetition and that's all. No. What do you want to say with this move of the shawl? I want to say I'm a flame and I'm going to burn you. Or the spectacle, yes, I'm going to scare you. So they learn the choreography so fast, because even if you hear what I'm telling during the rehearsals, I'm telling the story. I'm not telling, remember the next step 4 times. I don't say that. I say, remember, you are telling him you will never forgive him. You are telling you are mad. You are telling. So now they are talking inside their mind. The movement comes by themselves.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Okay, so there's my example of, you'll never forget meeting Irene Rodriguez. She just performed for the last 4 minutes right there in front of us. That was quite an explanation. No, I really appreciate it because that's what the dancers, you know, they need to see it, like really see it, because this is intense. This is very intense work. And I have to say, you know, the person who is dancing at almost the most in the room is Irene, and her energy is infectious and it's inspiring. It's just plain old inspiring. And I really appreciate that. It's inspiring to me, and I want to jump up and get in there.
I don't.
You don't, Michael? You don't know?
She.
So funny because when I want to show them what I want they to do, I don't explain like maybe you grab her and that. No, hey, I'm coming, and I jump and they hey,
right, exactly, and that's what's awesome. So let's shift to something just a little bit more gentle, I guess you could say. You're going to see Irene working. This is going to be section 1. It's about 40 seconds long, and it's of Irene working with Candela, who is Amaya Rodriguez, as well as Danielle Bausinger, who is the other one learning this role. And if you notice there's voice in this as well. Wow, awesome. Excellent. You know, Irene, just for those of you listening right now, Irene had had quite the opportunity to have a career either as a principal dancer with, you know, National Ballet of Cuba, or go into this incredible world of Spanish dance. And she chose that one. But, you know, she's still very much a ballet dancer in her core training, which is really exceptional. And I know that she's gained quite the respect from our company just by her ability to do everything in the room. So we're going to move on to another section. Now this is called The Wedding, all right? And I thought maybe we could take a look at it. That's section 5. And this is, maybe you could set the scene for this one before we start it. Irene, could you just tell us a little bit about what we're going to see? This is the beginning of the ballet, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the second scene is
Right.
the moment that the day of the wedding that their parent arranged many years before has arrived. So they are getting married, and you can see in your left, Jose, and in your right, Candela in the center, and more in your right, Carmelo and Faith. I would love to talk about this character.
Yes.
Because it's a character I add to the libretto. It's not included, but in the Gypsy traditions, they trust a lot, and they have this faith about destiny, about all this passion, you know, thoughts and creencias, you know, the faith of destiny and God. And he is like a God that plays with the character. He plays with the character. So he decides when the drama will take place, what is going to happen. They decide if they are going to fight. And in fact, he's the person that put the knife, and you will realize why I say knife, in the hand of Lucia's husband to kill Jose. So he's playing with the character the whole time. It's a very excited, it's one of my favorite scenes. And I will add that the girls, the ladies, are using a fan, are dancing with a fan. That is another accessory they almost never dance with. And the men are dancing with a hat. So you will realize they are all attending to the wedding party. And Carmelo is suffering because he realized he will never get married to Candela. So fate pushed him out. And of course, it's me, like the orchestra director.
Now, this rehearsal was last week,
Yes.
and we're going to just see a little bit of this, and then we're going to cut to another rehearsal that was done today, which you'll be able to get a chance to see how much farther along that the company has come.
Yes. And the character, you see the chest, the character. Inside the scene. Now the palmas, you can see the palmas dance. And believe me, so complicated because of the coordination for the girls and for the boys as well with the heads. They are acting a lot because they need to express all the drama they are living. This is okay. That is a particular. It's not like a normal cape. It's a skirt that becomes a cape, but the bullfighter cape.
Right. It's yeah, there is so much in this that is very different for our dancers, and it tells a story. This is quite the story to tell. I did, if you noticed, there's port de bras, there's arm movement, it's a movement of the arms that is very stylistic. And I really appreciate that that is a part of this experience. Michael, I'm just curious. Okay, so now you're starting to get a little bit of a peek of what's happening here in Kansas City with Kansas City Ballet. What are you thinking so far?
Well, I certainly like the way it's going, the whole company, and the way it's moving, and the way that the dancers are adapting to all these changes, which is exactly what you and I talked about, giving them the challenge and at the same time challenging your audiences not to get satisfied just with Sleeping Beauties and Cinderellas and what have you. That there's more to dance than just a fairy tale of characters that don't have anything to do with life. So I love the incredible amount of portrayals that exist within this 28-minute work. I just hope I can get it all together and clear.
That's why you're the guy in charge of this. So I know it's going to happen. It always comes out looking amazing. So
well, but that is because of you guys. By then, after we get Irene convinced that she has to do that, it's out of my hands. You deal with her. You deal with the talent and the temperament.
And I'm very happy to do so. Very happy to do so. Irene, there's a question that came in while we were talking. I've been trying to figure out when was a moment to get that in. One of our audience members asked if you have thought of choreographing to other Manuel de Falla works. They specifically mentioned Nights in the Gardens of Spain.
I can tell it is one of my favorites and the favorite of my grandma.
Ah.
Yes, she really loved this piece, and I would love to choreograph that. I already did with the three corns. The three corns.
Three-cornered hat. Yeah.
Three-corner hat. Yeah.
El sombrero de tres picos. That the final dance and the neighbors dance is amazing, and I have choreography, and la danza del molinero is beautiful. It's beautiful too. It's la danza del molinero, la danza final, so the final dance, the neighbors, la danza de los vecinos, the neighbors dance is all about the three corns, the three corns, right? The three corns.
Three-corner hat.
In Spanish is el sombrero de tres picos. That is beautiful. Another of the remarkable Manuel de Falla's pieces and composition. Well, all a ballet in this moment. And yes, of course, I would love to choreograph it. So when I return to Kansas.
Well, thank you. I wasn't surprised that you would have heard of it. So it's Yeah, there's so much to do, as a choreographer, so little time and so many wonderful ideas. And I'm just happy that we're able to be a part of one of those moments in your career, which is exciting to me.
And for some reason, of course, in the Romantic period, many of the ballet creations include Spanish dances. So if you realize inside the Swan Lake in the third act, there is an Spanish dance. In
Right.
Nutcracker, there is another one. In Coppelia have an Spanish
Right.
second act with a flower in the mouth. Paquita, don't cue the whole ballet.
Yeah.
So there is a deep communion, there is a big relationship in between both styles. And in fact, I was speaking because I always try to speak with the dancers, not only about this choreography, if not about all the Spanish dance world, and they can know more the culture about this style. In fact, you have in ballet dance, inside the ballet dance world, some steps, name it pas de basque, saut de basque. So is jump, the basque is from the Basque people. And pas de basque, pas is a step from the Basque people. So jump from the Basque people and a step from the Basque people. What it means? It means you stole many Spanish steps from the Basque people. And the Basque people, is the Basque country, but they belong to the Spanish geography and map and country. So they are Spanish, but their folklore that I was talking before was so rich in big jumps. In fact, there is many studies and theses that talk about the big jumps of the classic ballet dancers came from that big jumps from the Basque dancers that they were invited to perform in the French and Italian courts. And after that, the maestros, the master of dance, includes these steps in their choreographies because, French style is always about brise, royale, and small batteries and small jumps.
Right.
Not like big jumps, never. So this communion, and that's my thesis about in my master degree, is about all this relationship and how Alicia Alonso realized that. And always you can see, and it is included in my thesis, how many Spanish choreographies there are inside the Cuban National Ballet repertory. And in fact, and I really appreciate that, how many dancers, Spanish or flamenco dancers and company have been invited to the Cuban International Ballet Festival since the beginning, because Alicia really appreciate the relationship is between these both styles. And thanks to that, you saw me in an International Ballet Festival, and that is what I'm here.
There it is.
So, yes, all our styles are very related. So that is why you won't see the difference. They are still dancing ballet. They are still doing piqués on point and saut de chasse and pirouettes, but you will feel they are dancing flamenco. You see, how is this possible? It's because they are both really together.
Yeah, it's incredible. We're all one. We're all in this together, basically, Speaking of all in this together, one of the interesting things about coming to our company is that there's a little bit of your countrymen here in Kansas City. And I'm just curious, maybe you could speak about that, we have Humberto, we have Amaya, we have Javier, right? So we've got, there's a wonderful group of former dancers from Cuban National Ballet that are here. I was wondering, because I think Amaya and you, were you of the same time period?
Well, Javier, like he's almost my age, we studied together.
Okay.
We almost studied together, but with Humberto and Amaya, I were their teacher in the ballet school when they were still students.
Wow.
And in fact, I was teacher of Amaya's husband too. And after they arrived to the company, we worked together, principally with Amaya.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
because Humberto left the company very, very soon, but Amaya, she stayed like principal for many years. So I worked with her many, many times.
it's one of the things, if you stick around in the business long enough, it comes full circle. And the kids those who were your students wind up being the people you work with. And it's a wonderful world of dance, I have to say, it really is. And you've brought more of the world to us, Irene, and I really appreciate that.
I'm really enjoying all the process. It has been a hard work, you know, preparing all this. You have seen my notes. I brought the choreography, you know, done in my papers and my notes, and all this document with all the information about the ballet, this amazing ballet. And, you know, for me, it's a big challenge. In what part? Because it's my favorite work, Amor Brujo. I have always wanted to create this piece. But besides that, there has been amazing choreographers internationally, ballet companies, flamenco companies, filmmakers, and of course, this music has been played for almost all the symphony orchestras around the world. So it's responsibility for me that the creation of this is really well done and well danced by the dancers, and I completely trust on them. That's the best part.
Excellent. Well, we have about 5 or so minutes left. We're going to watch a little bit more, and the section we're going to watch is today's rehearsal. So you're seeing fresh exactly where the company is at right now. And while we're watching this, please do consider, you know, if you have any questions for Irene or Michael, please do write them in the chat. And this is exactly what you saw from a week ago, but now the ladies have full fan work going on. They're much more synchronized in their clapping. Palamas, excuse me, Irene. How fate is always involved in overlooking what's going on. That's the anchor, the black take on.
Another thing, another detail, they are talking, doing the jaleos in Spanish and flamenco expressions of joy, like ole. You know, I know many people have heard about the ole, and you know what I mean. Yeah. The word itself is anything. It's about hey. It's a jaleo. A jaleo is expressions that encourage the dancers to continue dancing. Is like your approve of what they are doing.
Right.
And ballet dancers, they never jalean. They never. And it has been so difficult and interesting work with them, for they not only express what they are thinking and feeling with the body like they used to do, if not with the word, with the speech.
Right. And I love that. It's another aspect, you know, Palamas, the voice, the footwork,
the acting,
of course, all of it together. It's going to be really exciting.
I'm graduated in acting in the university. So I have talked about Stanislavski and all these reactions, and sometimes I used to call it don't know the choreography. I used to correct them saying, don't know the choreography.
React to it.
They need to react. So if I don't touch you, you can't react. Sometimes they want to react together with the touch moment. No, wait for her to touch you.
Yeah.
So that is very important because it gives you the audience the natural feeling of what is happening, you know, like it's fluid and natural.
Great. I think we can finish with the video now. We ask Michael, maybe, you know, last words about what you're seeing.
And there's many scenes happening at the same time because like there is 5 characters and a female corp and a male corp. There is like many choreographies at the same time.
Cool.
I think you obviously have a 3-act ballet, 28 minutes.
And this has all been done in 6 days of rehearsal.
And more, yes.
6 days. Irene is extremely fast. And that's what we need because we only have 2 weeks of rehearsal available to get this ready before we start looking toward the theater in Johnson County Community College. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this project and how thankful I am, Michael, to your adventurism to support us on this and to encourage this to happen. And Irene for, wow, you know, this is, I can't wait to see this with costumes and to see after another week of rehearsals are done and we're into Tuesday of next week, it's going to be substantial work. So listen, thank you to both of you for time. Michael, I know you're very busy up there in St. Louis with Coca right now, and there's so much going on. So thank you for giving us a chance to have you join us. And Irene, after a solid day of rehearsals, wow, thank you. Your energy is just infectious. It really is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, both of you, for the confidence, for the trust, for giving me this opportunity that I'm pretty sure it won't be the last time. I'm really enjoying, and I'm sure about only one scene. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry.
No, don't do that.
The premiere. Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right. Well, we're going to say goodnight here. It's 7 o'clock. We promised to be done at 7 and we are done. So thank you so much to both of you. And please do come and see our performances 2 weekends from now at Johnson County Community College, New Dance Partners. We have 3 performances Friday night and then 2 on Saturday. So do get a chance to come and see us. It's well worth the drive to come join us. So
What a drive, 15 minutes. That's
there
all.
you go. That's it. Right. All right. Well, have a good night again. Thank you to both of you so much.
Thank you. See you next week. Actually,
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
bye, everybody.